Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Core Room. We will have Sarah Bonner hopefully joining us very soon. So whilst we wait for Sarah, I'm just going to sit here and chat, and I wish I could speak to you really and ask you how you're all doing, but hopefully lockdown's treating you all well. If you are in lockdown, if you're lucky enough to not be, then I hope you're enjoying that too. So we just wait for Sarah to come in here and join us. Who's joining us? So nice that all my family join me every week. First of all, let me see. Here we go. Right, Sarah's in.
Wait till the superstar joins us.
Oh yay, I'm here.
Yay! Hello.
I had like a 30-second panic.
No need to panic. We're chill over here on Quigley Sport. There's no need to panic.
Oh, I'm just a bit anxious, I think, for tomorrow. So everything's like...
Yeah, of course. I must say, you've got a nice setup there.
I know.
Looks like a professional's done it.
Oh, well, funny you should say that. There's definitely a professional light setup going on. I had to move a few times.
Right.
Anyways.
That's good. I like the prep. I love the prep. Right, everyone, welcome to the Core Room. We have Sarah Bonner with us here. Sarah is a professional Canadian triathlete. Exciting. And I'm just going to have Sarah introduce herself to everyone first of all. So take it away, Sarah.
Okay, so I am Canadian, but I'm living in Spain now, and I've just moved to the Canary Islands where I met Lauren, and I've been doing triathlon for 6 years, but the last 2 years I've been injured, and so I was an age grouper for 1 year, pro for 2 years, and then I've been on the bench for 2 years.
That's all right. You've just been in the cooker. You're ready to be released soon. But we'll talk obviously a lot more about that a bit later on. But my first question that I like to ask every guest is, what type of core room athlete are you? Now, before you answer, I know it's different in triathlon, and I know there's not necessarily a room, but it's the core room or the ready room is the place where athletes go to get ready mentally, physically for the race, just for any viewers that aren't sure what that is. So, Sarah, what kind of core room athlete are you?
Well, we kind of do have a call room, I think, in triathlon. I think because we start the second, so we go into like the start shoot, and all the pro women are always like mushed together. And I don't know, different races, it feels very different. When I started, I was definitely very nervous. I just stayed quiet and I stayed at the back and made sure I was like away from all the like crazy, scary, amazing athletes. And as I got more experience, in my limited experience, I started to relax a bit more, say hello to people who aren't always friendly, but I know everyone has their own vibe before a race. So I don't know, I think I've changed from start to now. I'm curious to see how I'm going to be when I go back, because it's been so long since I've raced.
Yeah, I can imagine, but I definitely understand the changing for different races. It's like you get to know it a bit more, you get a bit more confident, you get to know people. So yeah, it definitely changes. Okay, perfect. Right, so I've got some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
Don't think too much. You don't need to give me a long answer. Just whatever comes into your head as the right option. So, run, bike, or swim?
Run.
Okay. Are you a racer? Oh, swim. You're supposed to say swim. Racer or trainer? You wanted to say swim.
I'm a
trainer.
Swimmer.
Right now, I like it.
Definitely.
I like it. We've got, just quickly, Hannah said she loves us both, which we know anyway. How could she not love us? But also, she's asked your favourite Disney character.
Oh.
Hannah, that's a no-go today. We've already discussed this question. Right, back to quick fire. Individual bronze or relay gold?
Relay gold.
Okay. Would you prefer to be able to run at 100 miles an hour or fly at 10 miles an hour?
Oh, fly. Fly.
Fly? Okay. I mean, run at 100 miles an hour though, you could win Ironman quite easily, no?
But I could fly.
Okay, fair enough. Wetsuit or non-wetsuit?
Wetsuit.
Nice. Race in hot temperatures or race in cold temperatures?
Cold. But I hate
Really?
cold weather except for racing. I just fall to pieces in the heat.
Okay. Cooking or baking?
Baking.
Yeah, I thought that might be in there. Do you prefer morning training or afternoon training?
Morning training.
Okay, same as me. Do you prefer movies or TV series?
Series.
Theme park or water park?
I think. I think theme park.
Okay. Would you prefer to win Ironman, the world champs, or win an Olympic gold medal?
Olympics.
Okay. Aisle seat or window seat?
Aisle, all the way. I always have to pee.
Same. And the last one, and this is really important, so you know this answer decides a lot, particularly our friendship. So, favorite Christmas film? Don't let me down.
What's the old one?
I have so many. I always
I need one.
watch The Grinch, the old cartoon.
Yes. Okay, that's a good answer. I like that answer.
Yeah.
Is there another one that you had in mind?
Yes. What's the claymation one? Rudolph, the claymation one.
Oh, I know which one you're
The
talking
really
about.
old one. I like.
Okay.
My dad's a geologist, and there's a geologist in there. So since I was a kid, I was like, my dad. So.
Oh, that's cute though. I like that answer. Okay, we can be friends. We can continue to be friends. Right, so we're going to get into the questions,
Okay.
and we're going to start with, because I know you came into triathlon late. Just tell us a bit more about your start in triathlon, really.
Well, I was a student most of my life, and I definitely didn't like sports. I hated sports growing up. The only reason I passed gym in high school was because my gym teacher took sympathy on me that I was a drama kid and an academic, and I helped organize sports and stuff to pass gym class. And then my dad started cycling to help with stress from work. So I started cycling with him when I was at home for the holidays, and I was like, oh, I actually kind of like this. This is kind of nice. I think it was the first time I'd done individual sport. I think because I was always small and picked last, and I didn't know what was going on. So I could do my own thing, which I liked. And then I cycled just for fun, 20 kilometers, nothing serious. I did that to keep fit, and it just started to grow. And then I wanted to do a Grand Fondo with my dad, and that was 100 kilometers. So I had to train for that. And I did it in the gym because I didn't like riding outside in the traffic and stuff.
I get that.
Yeah. And then I joined the cycling club. I was in Cape Town at the time doing my master's, and I joined the cycling club there. So I kind of fell into the cycling scene a little bit more. They were cycling around to show me what to do and teach me. And they started encouraging me to go to local races, just fun events. So I started to do that. Then I started to run. And then people were like, you should do a triathlon. And I was like, I can't swim. I think that's a common answer for a lot of people. Anyways, fast forward a few years, and I finally decided to do a triathlon, and I signed up for the 70.3 in Lanzarote. Go bigger.
Nice, I like it. Yeah, I like it.
And I did do one before. I did an Olympic distance in France. and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't understand anything that was going on because I didn't speak the language. Total disaster. And then got to Lanzarote, just kind of did what I could, and I ended up winning my age group. And then I qualified for World Championships, and I didn't even know what that was. And the kind of like I just kept taking one step after the next. And then yeah, that was kind of how I got started. But I was 27 when I did my first triathlon, so super late.
Super late, but then you sort of came in, you swooped in, flying at 10 miles an hour, and you did amazing with it so quickly. And it's a really inspirational story for so many, stuff like that. So it's really nice to hear stories like that, and just that, you know, you didn't necessarily come from a sporting background and you sort of figured it out for yourself and you flew at it. So that, you know, that's amazing. You mentioned before about being nervous about tomorrow, and anyone that's watching, well, now obviously live, Sarah has an operation tomorrow from an accident that you had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She got hit by a car, and so when I put the questions up for people to ask stuff to you, I got a lot of questions about injuries and how to get over injuries and mentally, you know, be positive and keep going and pushing. And I think this year we probably need to hear how to do that more than ever. So, Sarah, how do you deal with injury and getting over it?
Patience. I think it's been really hard. I had injuries in the past and like kind of niggly stuff in the past, but obviously a car accident is a big one. And I think the hardest part is that I don't look injured and I can actually train quite a bit. But I can't train a lot and I can't train hard, which is the problem. So it's been 2 years of stop start, and is this in my head? Am I being lazy? Like, is surgery worth it? Like, do I just need to like trust in rehab and like keep going? So it's definitely been really hard mentally because I've never felt like I wanted to give up, but you just start to question your reality, if it's like real or are you just in your own head. But it's been, I think the key thing is patience. I've had to learn, and just having a really good support network to rely on. Talking to a sports psychologist has definitely helped. And meeting you was like super helpful. Like every person I've met in the last few years has just helped me in a big way or a small way, and like all together, that's what's made the big difference. It hasn't been one thing, but it's been, okay, that person said that and that was helpful, or like this person showed me I can do this, and taking all the small things adding up together. That's kind of what's got me through.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, and people will be listening now or whenever they watch this and take some really interesting and helpful things from that for sure. It's being injured is what an athlete's worst nightmare, and you know, to different extents you get injured, and some you can deal with it and some are really, really hard to get over, and getting hit by a car is definitely one of those. So I remember that the first thing that I noticed when I met you was how positive you are, and you know, this happened, but we're going to get through it, and it's just how you get through it. And you know, again, really inspirational stuff. Well, that's great. So I've got a question here. Someone asked me, it's a labrum injury that
Yes.
you're getting your labrum sorted out.
Yeah.
Someone asked me how that specifically affects each sport that you're doing.
So first, the labrum's like the cartilage that lines your hip socket. So my bone in the car accident like basically smashed against it and ripped it. So
Ouch.
I've got a tear there. So the big one it obviously affects is running. That's where I get pain. and it refers right down to my quad, and everything tightens up, and it feels like I'm running on a peg leg, like a wooden
Oh,
leg.
oh dear, we don't need that.
Very strange feeling. And on the bike, it's kind of the same thing. Like my whole leg and my glute gets really tight, and I don't have any power there, and I can't sit in the bars very much. Swimming's actually pretty good. That's why my swimming's come a long way in the last
Yeah,
few years.
definitely. For all, just quickly, for all my swimmers watching, Sarah, we were in the sea and Sarah said, please relook at my butterfly. I've just practiced it a couple of times. So I thought, oh, here we go. What's going to happen here? You know, this is going to be good to watch. Because I always love helping anyone in the pool. So she does butterfly. I didn't need to help her at all. In fact, she probably needed to help me with my butterfly. So she's a swimmer at heart, Sarah, to be honest. But please carry on.
I think with swimming is I find it so frustrating because I like it, but I've always been kind of bad at it. But
Not bad
now
at it.
that I haven't been able to run and bike so much, I've had a lot of time to like just start from scratch and build up again. So I've like really fallen in love with swimming the past year, which has been awesome. And fly.
Yay.
Learn fly.
And fly. You're a fly swimmer. We've had some really nice comments. We've had some really nice comments from Rebecca Guy, who was our first guest.
Oh, yeah.
But I must tell her just quickly. I know this is a live stream, but I was doing a swim set with Sarah just before I left Lanzarote, and we had some medley in there. And I know Rebecca Guy will laugh at this. And so I was there, fly, back, breast free. I looked across and Sarah was just doing her own order in medley. And she was like, no, I like to do it this way. I didn't know there was supposed to be a proper order. And I just thought it was amazing. And I know Rebecca Guy will appreciate that story. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff.
I knew there was an order, but I didn't know what it was.
Oh no, I loved it. I'm going to start doing your order all the time. Right.
The first time I had a track session, I messaged my coach. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what 400 meters is?
Oh no. That's brilliant. I love that though. That's how people start in sport, and people are nervous to ask those questions, where I love it when people just go, what are you talking about?
I was just telling someone, because they're asking me about swimming, and I got my pro license before I knew how to flip turn. So whatever.
Nice.
You can do
That's amazing.
Get it done.
That's how good you are. That's how good you are. No, it is. It is. Right. So I've got a question here, and I love this question, and I ask it to everyone. The best moment in your sporting career so far?
I think probably my first and only pro podium was in 2018 when I was hit by a car, and I had a terrible swim, came out last or second last, and I just had amazing legs, but I assumed I was at the back, and then I got to the run and I got a bike for the first time, like for the leading women, and I was second, and I was like, this is amazing. And then it was super hot that day and I slipped back into third, but it was just amazing to cross the finish line. And just like, it was like all the emotions that I thought, oh, I'm getting emotional now. all the like satisfaction that I thought I would have crossing the line was there. So it was awesome.
Amazing. No, I get emotional listening to you talk about it. It's great. I have a question actually about that. You know, that happened before your accident. So do you think that played a part in you carrying on after your accident and having the motivation?
So weirdly, it was actually after my accident.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. So
Wow.
So I took like a month off after my accident, and then I started to train again. And that was the one race that I had to show up for on a contract. So I was like, I'll just go. There's no pressure. They knew I had an accident, and I was like, I didn't think I was fit. Just go and enjoy it. And I think just having all the pressure off, and I had obviously rested a lot. So I had a great day, but I paid for it big time. I just didn't recover after that race. And eventually that's when I stopped and took the rest of the year off. So it was kind of like that was the nail in the coffin, but it was also,
it's a nice one.
Yeah, like it really gave me like, okay, like keep going. Like it was a good sign in a way as well. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Did you ever
I have a question.
Races? Am I allowed to ask?
Can you ask questions? You can ask questions if you want. I mean, I'm supposed to be interviewing you, but
I was just wondering if you had one of those moments where it was like
one of which moments, like everything's come together sort of moment, or
just you were looking for a sign and you got one.
I was looking for a sign. That's a really good question. I'll have to think about that. You'll have to leave that one with me.
Come back.
I will. Now, my next question is about you going vegan a few years ago. And I just wanted to ask the decision why you went vegan, and also how you find going vegan and trying to balance a sporting career as well, and make sure you're getting everything you need, because you make it look so easy. And I was just wondering what you thought. Okay, there you go.
Cool. When did so I transitioned very slowly, very, very slowly. I didn't eat a lot of meat and I'm lactose intolerant, so that was kind of made it a bit easier. But started very slowly, just cutting out red meat, and then I don't like fish, so that was easy, and just one thing at a time, but it was like more ethically motivated. Eventually, it kind of started with the guy I was dating at the time. He was very ethically motivated and I like to cook. So it started there, but I kind of took it and run with it. And yeah, it's a slippery slope. The more I started to walk down that path, the more it became really important to me, like the ethical side of it. And I really just allowed myself to do it as slow as I wanted. I taught myself how to cook again. And along the way, if I wanted to eat cheesy pizza, I just did it. Because eventually you lose the taste for it, and it's not nice and it's not satisfying. So, but I think people are always trying to make a fast transition, and it took me like maybe 3-4 years to do it.
Yeah. Nice. And did you have help with it to get everything you needed to help with training and stuff, or did you just figure it out yourself?
Probably a mix of both. I actually did see a nutritionist once, and like right at the beginning, and he did not think it was like appropriate for a pro athlete or someone who wanted to be a pro athlete. And I was just like, well, that's useless. I don't need to listen to you.
Well, it's working for you.
So I didn't actually start working with a nutritionist again until 1.5 years ago. And in the middle, I just read a lot. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and just did my research basically. And I made a lot of mistakes, a lot. I definitely was eating and like not eating this and not supplementing with that and that sort of thing. But again, I just like did it slowly, and like you got to make those mistakes and learn from them. And then like now it's easy.
Definitely. No, great advice. And me and Hannah love your bakes, so don't ever go back, really, because we'll be disappointed. So my next question for you is, how important is it to have a work, sport and social life balance? And do you think you've got those things right?
I think in my dream world, I'd love to just focus on sport, but I don't know if I could do it, actually. I think it's super important. I think I'm a creative person, so my work is kind of my creative outlet. So is baking. But I like having those projects for my brain and my creative side. I think I know you need a little bit of balance. I think especially when things are not going to plan and going well in the bad times, you need those relationships and you need other outlets just for like your soul to feel happy and to keep you motivated. And then in the good times, those are all the people that like keep cheering you on, and they're there to like share in the success. So I think even if you feel like sometimes it like takes away from your sport or your recovery or whatever, you do need to invest in other things in your life.
Yeah, definitely. And baking is one of those that you need to continue with. Just from everyone that's tried your bakes.
Baking like my stress relief, so
yeah,
it's never gonna leave me.
Good. That's music to my ears, that. And we touched on work then. I'd love to know more about Tall Sock Media, basically, and what you're doing with that, because it's great stuff.
So I do graphic design. I do a little bit of copywriting as well. So yeah, I kind of keep my work a little bit quiet so I can control my workload for cycling. So it's mostly just, or for training. So it's mostly just word of mouth, but kind of do everything from website design, logos design, branding, blog writing, ghost writing, book chapters, kind of everything I can do with my legs up on the couch and my laptop.
Yeah. I love it. And you are very, very good at what you do, because I've seen it firsthand. So, you know, it's really good stuff. I have a question. What's it like living with a professional sports photographer?
Okay, so when I first started living with James, I was like, oh, can you take a quick photo for me for Instagram? I'm like setting up my iPhone, and before I know it, there's like professional lights and like the big lens coming out, and I was like standing there with my iPhone like, what's happening? So it's really amazing. He's so creative, and I just love his profession, and I love watching him do it. And I get a little bit of a cherry on top because he obviously helps me with my media, and he's just taught me so much about both sides of the camera, really. But yeah, I'm definitely spoiled on the media.
She's got very used to it very quickly.
That's not James chirping up in the background, is it?
Definitely is.
Hey.
Hence my professional lighting setup.
Yes, no, I love it. I love the effort. You get extra points for that. So you get extra points. So next question, and I'm genuinely interested myself. Well, I'm interested in it all, obviously, but this was my own question, and it's, you posted recently about body image. And I think it's really important to talk about, and I was really pleased to see it, actually, because I think it needs to be talked about a lot more. So I'd love you to just touch on that, if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And just sort of where that comes from, and how you feel and how you cope with it, really.
Yeah, I think the big thing was not doing, I grew up in, like, my parents were amazing. I've always had like good body confidence, but I am human, and I'm a girl, and I went to high school, so you all have to deal with it at some point. And I realized, like, as I started to get into sport, the confidence that you can get in your body from it doing something it couldn't, and like feeling strong about that. But inside, like, I still felt like the kind of chunky, like, high school kid. But that's okay, because, like, I think that, like, working on the outside, like, your sport and stuff like that, it, like, makes you aware of, wait a second, that doesn't match. Like, why am I thinking that? So I think sport really helped me just become aware and work through that. But then I got into, like, pro sport, and it was like going to high school and, like, being at the bottom again, because I'm standing on the start line, like, there's a six-pack here and a six-pack there, and I'm like, like, what is happening? Like, all the bodies that you see are so perfect, and you just, yeah, again, I just feel like the chunky fat kid in high school. So definitely had to, like, start working on that again. And then even actually being with James, because he takes so many photos of me and we go through them all and we pick the good ones, but I'll be like, no, not that photo, I look fat, or like I look weird in that, and he's like, no, you don't, like, what are you talking about? So it's been really good to have like an outside view. And it's just like, I guess I've just like relaxed a little bit. And especially being injured, you just like kind of start to appreciate your body. Like, why am I picking on my body? It's amazing. Like, it can do so much. And like I posted, even Beyonce has like stomach rolls when she bends over. So
Exactly. I'm glad to hear that you sort of overcome that and feel a lot better. And of course, we all have bad days, but I definitely understand the high school, and then when you come into sport again, it's like you think everyone else has got the perfect body, and they are all probably thinking about you, and it's an awful sort of world to be in terms of that when you're in that sort of place. But when you can step out of that and, like you've just said, celebrate your body and what it can do for you, it's amazing. And I think that you're in fantastic shape all the time, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're eating cheesy pizza or whatever, it's great. And it is really nice to hear you talk about that, and you'll be helping a lot of people by talking about it. So from me and everyone,
like
thank you.
When we met, you mentioned that you had gone through stuff like that, and I was just like, what? Like I met you and I was like, that girl is a swimmer. Like, I was just thought, looked amazing.
Like, so I was like this, big shoulders.
Yeah. like to me, I'm just seeing like hours and hours in the pool. Like that was awesome to me. And I was just like, it was just good to hear other people talk about it, because it makes you like, wait a second, other people are going through this. Like, if she's thinking that, like, what? Like, it's just natural, and you just have to stay on it all the time. Yeah.
Definitely. No, thank you for that, Sarah. One more question. And I love to finish with this question with everyone. It's one piece of advice that you'd give yourself now if you were starting your triathlon career again.
Oh, I think about this all the time. I think I would just tell myself to relax. There's time. I'm always worried that I'm behind because I'm like, I started late and I'm injured. I always feel like I'm running out of time, but you're on your own time schedule. It doesn't matter how old you are or how many years you think you have left or where you are in your life. Like, whatever you want to do, you're on your own journey, and your timeline's your own time.
Definitely. I love that. Great way to finish. On behalf of myself and all the Quigley Sport family and followers, good luck tomorrow for your surgery. We all send you speedy recovery vibes, and we know you'll be good. You'll be back soon doing medley the wrong order and running, not like you've got a ped leg, but running quicker and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we wish you all the best. I'll be speaking to you anyway. I'll give you a message. But thanks for coming on. You've been fantastic.
Thank you so much. I feel like,
and I've loved that.
Such a pleasure to be here. I'm in very good company too. So.
Well, what can I say? And see you later, Mitch.
See you, Laura. Be quick.
And yeah, bye, guys.
Bye.
I'll speak to you soon, Sarah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.